All right, so this is going to be another video on multiplying and dividing rational expressions, and I'm basically just going to be working out 5 more examples, only these are going to be a little bit more advanced than the previous videos. Okay, the first one looks like this. All right, first thing I'm going to do is factor everything that I can. That first rational expression does not factor, so we don't really need to worry about it so much. I'm going to turn this into a multiplication, and then this is going to go on top, but I'm going to factor out a d from it first, so you're going to get d minus c all over, and then I'm going to factor this on the bottom here, and it's going to be c plus d times c minus d. Okay. Let's cancel some stuff out here, so d plus c right there. And then right here, if you notice, this d minus c and this c minus d, like the order is flip-flopped on those, so what you can do is divide each of those and then just factor out a -1. This was talked about in the previous video, so if you want to know why that is, you're basically just factoring out a -1 and you end up with the same factor so you can divide it out. So the top is going to be left with a just d, and then the bottom is going to be -c squared plus d squared. I'm just going to put a negative in front there, and that's the final answer for that one. All right, the next one is 6x squared minus 11x minus 10 all over 6x squared minus 5x minus 6 times 6 minus 4x all over 25 minus 20x plus 4x squared. All right, so I'm going to factor this numerator up here first, and you're going to be left with 3x plus 2 times 2x minus 5 all over this one right here factored out, which is going to be 3x plus 2 times 2x minus 3. Okay, then we're going to multiply this by, well, I'm going to factor out a 2 from this numerator here, and you're going to have 3 minus 2x. And then I'm going to factor this bottom part right here, this denominator, and you're going to be left with 2x minus 5 quantity squared. Okay. Next, you'll notice that this 3 minus 2x is the opposite of this 2x minus 3 right here. So what you can do is factor this out here and then just make this one negative. And this one would be 1, so -1 and 1. This one and this one are going to cancel. And then one of these and one of these is going to cancel. So you're left with your final answer is going to be -2 divided by 2x minus 5. One is going to be 12a squared minus 7ab plus b squared all over 9a squared minus b squared divided by 16a squared minus b squared all over 3ab plus b squared. Okay, I'm going to factor this part right here, and you should end up with 3a minus b times 4a minus b. And this is all going to be divided by 3a plus b times 3a minus b. So that's when that's factored right there. Okay, then I'm going to multiply, and I'm going to factor this denominator here because it's going to become the numerator. You can factor out a b, and you're going to be left with 3a plus b over this factored is going to be 4a plus b times 4a minus b. And then let's start canceling some stuff out. So that'll cancel there. This is going to cancel over here. This will cancel here. And you're going to be left with b over 4a plus b for the final answer. All right, so this next one's going to be the most tricky, I would say, because it involves an exponent that is negative. So this whole rational expression right here is all raised to the -3rd power. And then from here, we're going to multiply this by x squared minus 4x plus 4 all over x squared minus 2x minus 3. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is flip this first. I'm going to flip this first rational expression right here because it's a negative, just a negative third power. So I can make it to the positive if I flip it. So that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be x squared plus 1 over x minus 2. And it's all to the third power. Okay. Then I'm going to factor that second rational expression. So you're going to get x minus 2 times x minus 2 divided by x minus 3 times x plus 1. Okay. Now from here, what I can do is raise this right here to the third power. So that would be gone away. And then this would also be raised to the third power. And then now I can simplify everything. So you end up having 2x plus 2's here. So I can divide the top and the bottom by x minus 2 twice, essentially. So it's going to cancel out that one right there. So you're still going to have 1x minus 2 on the bottom there. And then you're just going to multiply across. There's not really much else you can do on this one. And you're going to have x squared plus 1 quantity cubed over x minus 2 times x minus 3 times x plus 1. And you could, expand those out, but that would just take too long and it's not really worth it. So we're just going to say this is the final answer right here. All right, and the last one is going to be 3x cubed minus 3a squared x, all divided by x squared minus 2ax plus a squared times a minus x, all divided by a to the third x plus a squared x squared. Okay, lots to break down here. All right, first thing I'm going to do is this numerator right here, and I'm going to factor out a 3x from this, and you're going to be left with x squared minus a squared, all divided by, okay, this thing is going to factor to x minus a quantity squared. Okay. The a minus x can stay there. And I'm going to factor out an a squared x from this here, and you're going to get a plus. Okay, from here I'm going to simplify some stuff a little bit further. So that numerator is going to be 3x times x plus a times x minus a, all divided by x minus a squared times a minus x all over a squared x times the quantity a plus x. All right, so one of these is going to cancel here. I can cancel this and this, and since they're switched orders, I can just put a negative here. Okay, next I can get rid of this x plus a and this a plus x right here. Let's see what else is going to simplify here. We got an x here that can simplify with this x here, and you're left with a 3 on the top as well as this negative, so it's going to be negative 3 on top, divided by the only thing on the bottom is a squared, and that's the final answer.